Forget everything you think you know about the Transformers. Forget the Saturday morning cartoons. Today, we're diving into a world where a transformation is terrifying and a single Decepticon is a walking horror movie. This is Skybound Transformers #1. Writer, artist Daniel Warren Johnson has reimagined the Energon universe with a level of grit and raw emotion that this franchise hasn't seen in decades. No Megatron, no backup, just survival. We're breaking down the shocking first deaths, the return of Jetfire, and the scene that redefined Optimus Prime for a new generation. The war for Earth hasn't just started, it's already becoming a massacre. So let's roll out. Yes, hello and welcome to the channel, where today we're talking about Transformers #1 from the Skybound comics. And this is brought to you by Daniel Warren Johnson. This is a really great run. So with the Marvel stuff I've been doing, for a lot of the comics, I've not read them before. I have read most of these up to now. There's I think I'm up to issue 24, 25, but they've been so great. I wanted to share it with you. And this is a really great run, a really great time for Transformers. So if you're a fan, you've got to hop onto this series. But let's do it together, eh? So Transformers #1, you've got to start with Optimus, haven't you? Now, he's looking a bit worse for wear. Look at the windows. This is going to be an ongoing theme with the Transformers in this. It's very gritty. It's not that clean-cut edge you might be used to with some other Transformers media. Here, it is down and dirty. So Optimus not looking in great shape, is he? And well, let's find out why, eh? So we start with a bit of a montage situation. So you've got the Ark flying towards Earth, and you can't tell what time frame this is. And there's a lot of things happening out of order by the looks of it. So you've got helicopters, you've got the Ark, and you've got, this is what we're talking about. Dirty. Page 1, gritty, grim. This guy looks like he's dead, and I guess this is his son. I mean, I say guess. I mean, I have read them before. It's been a while, so bear with me. But look at Optimus. He is in really bad shape. He's got an eye almost missing. That socket's been absolutely obliterated, and he looks like he's in really bad shape. And you got this rocket, and this looks like it harks back to that panel up there with Dad wake up. There's a lot to break down on this page. And this, first of all, this image is absolutely fantastic. Look how detailed that eagle is and everything, and the shading, and it's a really great style. It's not something, like I say, you're used to seeing with Transformers, is it? Very detailed. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But this gives you a lot of information. So we had that Wake Up Dad thing from the previous page, but this time it sort of transitions to, it looks like it's from earlier. This guy, he's gone to find his dad, and he says Spike. So Spike is a name that is very familiar to fans of Transformers, as is Carly, who was mentioned down here. But you've got this little conversation / situation where, he's saying how long you've been here, and the bartender grasses him up, says he's been there since midday. And so you have this little conversation that develops, and it looks like there's been some sort of trauma. There's something terrible has happened in the family. I'm going to guess it's his brother. Jimmy's. So looks like they've got like a telescope here, and he's going to go with Carly, and they're going to go and check out what's been happening in the stars. While all that's happening, you've got another sort of side situation here, and it sounds like they're talking about Starscream here, because they're talking about a fighter jet that's come down from space, and it was white and red, and that's got to be Starscream, right? But it looks like this conversation is not ending on very good terms. And let's see what happens next. So this is very different from the Spike relationship you might be used to from the old days. So he's actually off to work, his dad, and they're parting, not very good terms. So he says, you're going to have to grow up. And Spike says, what, and be like you? And just look at that pained expression on his face. So they leave, and you got another great panel here. Let me look at this van. It's absolutely bitching. And here's Carly, and it looks like they're going to take the telescope and then see what's up in the sky. You got this nice page that's full of connection and just helps to fill in those gaps with the character with Spike, and it's really good actually. So they're talking about their ambition. So Spike wants to be an astronaut, and he's not told his dad yet he wants to move away. And Carly's got this situation as well where she wants to be an artist by the looks of it, but money's an issue. And there's a nice touching moment here where she says that she's sorry about what he's been through about Jimmy. And these panels, these pictures, I mean, they're full of emotion, aren't they? And it's amazing what you can do in one picture, but you can see so much in those eyes, can't you? That lovely conversation comes to an end when the very ground beneath them gives way, and I love this onomatopoeia here. So it follows them down, and you've got this bam, and they've fallen down to whatever is beneath, and they've seemed to have made a discovery. And look where they are. They're on the Ark there, look, and this is such a great picture, isn't it? That's absolutely fantastic. Look how small they look. So it's such a great picture for those two regions. The grand scale of it. You've got the mountain up here, the Ark. I mean, even without them there, it looks massive. And just putting them in there is it's the icing on the cake, really. And you got this moment down here, and like, where are we? What is this thing? And what a page this is. This is sort of like a dark, dirty version of that episode 1 of G1, where the Autobots are sort of woken up one by one. Well, the Decepticons first, isn't it, actually? But then the Autobots wake up. But they look, not in too bad a shape. But this is a sort of more realistic, if you like, take on that, where they're absolutely battered, aren't they? I mean, the ship's been... Look at the state of it. You can see Soundwave there, and you've got Starscream. So it probably wasn't Starscream that guy saw in the bar then. And you've got Bumblebee, Cliff Jumper. That looks like Skywalk there. So, yeah, a lot gone on. And then there's Optimus there. Look at his eye socket that's all smashed in. So they've discovered some sort of robots. Yeah, that's an understatement. And what I can see here is it looks to be some sort of jet flying in. Maybe that's what that guy saw. Spike and Carly hide because they sense someone's coming, and it's Jetfire. And what they've done here very cleverly is you can't see whether he's an Autobot or Decepticon, because if you're a fan of Transformers from the early days, you'll know that he started out as a Decepticon and became an Autobot. And what I can't actually remember. He's come to free his friends, and he's brought this disc here, which has got some data on it, which I think is going to be the alt modes for the Transformers. And he's uploading that now onto the... you can see here there's a jet and there's a truck. So it's hard to know which way it's going there, because that's obviously going to be Optimus. And that looks like it's going to be for the Seekers. So, yeah, it's hard to know which way this is going at the moment. And now we have the answer to the question. It's Starscream is brought back first. He inputs it into Teletran 1. And he talks about gathering them all back to full strength. And Carly and Spike are still hiding. But look at this. This is an amazing picture of all the bits of Starscream coming together, like magnetizing. And that continues into this picture. It flows really nicely. And look how he's standing. It's a great pose, isn't it? And it's a great angle and everything like that. It's a really great picture, because we're down on the floor at almost the same height as Spike and Carly. And we're just looking up at the might of these two. Look at the shadowing and everything as well. So it's all done really great. On this page, we've got a bit of a twist to that classic G1 episode, the first episode. So if you remember from that, the Decepticons gather themselves first, and the Autobots are just lying in a state still. They've never been revived. And as they leave, if memory serves correctly, Starscream turns around and shoots at the ship, can't help himself. And that causes a chain reaction where it actually revives one of the Autobots. And that's sort of what's happening here. So he's not left the ship. He's just, look how cruel he is. He's firing on Bumblebee. So this is doing a lot of things at once. So it's showing the malice, the cruelty of Starscream. Look at his face. I think Starscream's such a great character. I love him. But he fires down at just a helpless Bumblebee. And while that's happening, you've got Jetfire, who can't believe what he's seeing, And he's got the blue eyes. That's always the giveaway, isn't it? That he's good inside. And he holds it back. What are you doing? He's not cruel like Starscream. But this kerfuffle, it looks like it causes this lever to go, and that looks to me to be Optimus Prime reforming. Typical Starscream fashion, he's an absolute maniac. He turns on Jetfire and he fires at him. He looks like he's trying to kill him. And Jetfire goes down and it says that this is not what I wanted. And Starscream's absolutely furious at his weakness, his perceived weakness that he's shown. And he says, I'll show you what true evil is. It looks like he's going to execute Jazz, who's already dead already by the looks of it. But he's going to absolutely wipe his face off. And yes, it's Optimus, and he comes in with a huge clothesline. And that just reminds me, throughout this run, they do quite a few wrestling moves on each other, which is really funny. The guys putting this together are obviously wrestling fans. So it's a really big clothesline. And this is great from Optimus. So, shooting beings while they lay helpless. I thought you were a warrior. I can almost hear that voice as he says that. And you've got Starscream carrying away. And, this has got to be speaking to your inner Transformers fan. They've captured it beautifully, haven't they? All the little mannerisms and characteristics. It shines through on the page in a way that you've probably never seen it presented before, in that gritty fashion. And that's the unique selling point, the USP of this series, I think, up to issue 24 in any case, that the art style and the grittiness of it is something that I've never seen in Transformers media before. And here's Optimus with a suplex that Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar would be proud of. He actually crunches Starscream. And while that's happening, Optimus catches sight of the humans. And look at his eyes. To say that they're robots, they're so full of expression, because there's a lot happening there. There's like a wonder and a concern, and it's hard to actually put into words. And that's the sign of a really great artist, I think. So during this battle, Optimus stops to just ask, "Who are you?" And he says, "Get behind me." And this fight's continuing on. And continuing the sort of the wrestling theme, if you like, you've got almost like, you get run-ins when it's all kicking off. So Ratchet's in there now, and he kicks Starscream. And just look at his body shape as he's booted away. There's like a momentum to that picture, isn't there? So as he's kicking him in the back and his legs haven't quite caught up yet, that's showing you the motion and the power and the speed is being kicked at. And, that onomatopoeia again. So that it's a still image, of course, 2D. But I can almost see him being booted so hard that he's getting whiplash from it. And what's become evident down here is the Teletran 1 is bringing people back randomly. So next we've got Skywarp, and it's like a tag team match now, look, isn't it? So you've got Ratchet and Optimus versus Skywarp and Starscream. And Starscream realizes what's happening and says, right, we need to make sure it's just our guys getting revived. And they pull in Soundwave. And you've got this little drag here as well. I love little moments like that. So they're dragging Soundwave off, and he's looking like he's going to get revived next. So Optimus has decided it's time for a tactical retreat. Sign of a good leader, if you ask me. He knows they're outgunned here and they need to get out of there. And he somehow knows that he should have a trailer, one of those things. And they're going to pack them all in there and drive off. It's great to see him actually making use of the trailer because, during the cartoon and the movies, it doesn't really play that much of a part of it here. It's actually a story device. So it's like a plot device, I should say, even. So it's what they're going to use to get the rest of the Autobots out of there. But this is a great moment down here. Just instantly heard that sort of sound from Metal Gear Solid with the exclamation mark. He sees his blaster, that iconic blaster. That is so Optimus. He has to have it. And he's going to go and retrieve it. And what a great page. I love it because Soundwave is just one of my favorite, definitely top 2 or 3 Transformers. And you've got this image here of him coming back together. And look at Skywarp, look at his face. He's absolutely ecstatic about it. And what is really cool about Soundwave in these comics is he gets his own sort of speech bubble. So he's got like a blue one. And that's because he has that distinctive voice, doesn't he, from the show, from the cartoon. And that's sort of replicated here, but he gets his own unique speech bubble here, and that's just to tell us, the reader, that voice is carried over into this comic. And I love this sort of predator vision, I call it. So it's almost like a heat signature. He's following Optimus and he blasts him with his rocket launcher. And what a great image here. So it's almost straight out of a film, isn't it? You got this boom and he's flying off. And there's some great concern here from Ratchet. Look, he's loading Wheeljack into the back of the trailer. And it's been great, hasn't it, so far, this issue? Really action-packed. And if you're a Transformers fan, you're eating pretty good. Poor Bumblebee. I mean, this is the after effect from Starscream shooting him in the face. His face has been absolutely blasted off. I'm not sure there's any coming back from that, to be honest. And he's mourning his friend. He looks pretty dead there, doesn't he? And Starscream, look at this fool mourning over the weakest of them. And he's sort of got a reverse headlock on him or something there. And oh God, Starscream is something else, and he's one of the greatest characters ever. He's such malice, such a menace. And this is the page that's going to cement that human Autobot relationship. So Carly and Spike help Optimus. He's about to get his eyes ripped out. So Starscream's saying, rip his eyes out. He's horrible, Starscream, in this comic. Honestly, he's next level disgusting. Some of the things he says and does are horrible. So Soundwave ejects Ravage, and I think what they're showing us here is if it isn't for Carly and Spike, this could all be over for the Autobots pretty quickly. And there's not like one thing of note here that makes me think this, but this is just one of my favorite pages. I can really feel the action, and the style they use is so good. So you've got this moment where Optimus picks up the blaster and shoots Ravage away, and you get this little cutaway here of Soundwave with the red eyes, I'll add, which I think is the correct colour for his eyes. There's some debate about that, I imagine, but I mean, as a fan of the cartoon, it'll always be red to me. But you can see this concern, like, no. But it cuts right back to the action, and look at this, where Skywalker's about to stamp on his head. And you know the frenzied line work here, you can see the speed, can't you? The blur almost. And he says, just die already. Optimus rolls. I love this little just roll. So without overdoing it, you can sort of follow the action. And while that's happening here, you've got Thundercracker, who's sort of, and I just love this style of how they're being brought back together. And yeah, he's in real trouble here because we've got one of the Constructicons as well. So bad times if you're an Autobot. Another great page. You just keep coming and coming. I've been reading on my other videos. I've been doing the early X-Men issues from the 60s, and they're quite slow in comparison to this. I'm not used to this pace and frenzy, and it's just fantastic. I love it. So Optimus blasts. It looks like he's firing at Thundercracker, and you've got this horrible explosion. Look, whoever that is, they are done. And it's got to be either Skywarp or a Thundercracker. I'm not sure which one, but look at Starscream. It's been a bad day. Both sides have lost some good bots already. And look at Ratchet down here. Like, Optimus will load it up. Whoa. He's seen things. What he is witnessing is absolutely got him shook. Another great picture. Optimus just racing out the flames. He's got Carly and Spike. He's protecting them. And look at this down here. So this tells a story as well, doesn't it? So you got Soundwave. He's holding Ravage with concern. He's all power low. I can hear him screaming, "What is your malfunction?" And while that's happening, you've got, I mean, this is great as well, isn't it? So Starscream's pointing at the Autobots. They're getting away, and mid-transformation, they're escaping. There's that sort of Transformers noise. I'm not going to try and replicate it like I just did with Starscream a minute ago. I'm not going to take that on. But you can hear it, can't you? Roll out. There's that classic line. I mean, this is great. I forgot how good this was. This is absolutely fantastic. So Spike's worried that they're going to hit a cliff, and we're about to drive off. But that's no concern to the Autobots, of course. So they fly out of there and they land on this very well-placed ridge, I'm going to say. Very lucky it's there. And they take a quick beat just to explain that they've got these native creatures. So that shows us they don't know who humans are. And there's a bit of mystery about, you know, what planet they're on and how they've come to be here. As fans from 40 plus years on, from the G1 cartoon, we know, don't we? If you're reading this comic, you know, but the Autobots don't know where they are or what they're dealing with. And you got another great image down here. And I like how they sort of bend the road that way. So you've got Optimus this way, and you've got Ratchet that way, and you've got Starscream sort of bearing in and firing at them. And they're not playing this issue, are they, with Jetfire? They're not dragging it out at all. We've got that real quick face turn. So to begin with, at the beginning of the issue, it looked to be very much Decepticon. We never saw the logo on him, but he's decided that he's going to help Optimus. We've got that image here of him transforming and that's. Oh man, I keep waxing lyrical, but I think it's just so great, the artwork. I mean, they've gone all out on this first issue. So you see these 3 images of Jetfire and his various stages of transformation, and it's just great. I love it. And he arrives on the scene, and it looks like Starscream's just about to wipe out Optimus. But again, you've got that frenzied line work, and it just shows you the velocity and how quickly things are moving. And yes, it's Jetfire to save the day. So after this aerial battle, Starscream and Skywalker fall back. They're running out of Energon, and that will be a theme throughout this run. So Energon depletion is serious business in this new world of Transformers. So we're seeing the first signs of that here, where he's already down Skywarp. He can't continue on. And I mean, this image of Starscream is absolutely amazing. He's so angry at himself, the situation, the Autobots getting away. They're so close to wiping them out forever. That is pure hatred. But the Autobots get away to fight another day. So the Autobots escape and they take refuge in this quarry. And there's a nice little character moment here where Spike says his brother, Jimmy, and he used to sneak in here and mess around in there. So it's good that they can sneak that a bit in there, and it helps flesh out the character a little bit more. And what we've got down here is Jetfire's in grave danger. He's in real trouble. And the stakes are pretty high in this comic, I'm going to say. So when a character's in trouble, they really are in trouble. It's not like in the cartoon where, everyone's right as rain in the day and cracking jokes. This is dark, okay? And when people are injured and down, they really are. And sometimes they don't get back up again. So Jetfire is one of those characters who's in big trouble here. This is very revealing on this page. So the spin that they've taken for Jetfire in this iteration is he's sort of he's neutral, I guess is the best way to put it. He says he didn't know about the war. He's never been an Autobot or a Decepticon. So they're playing it a bit different from what I remember of the G1 cartoon. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that the Decepticons constructed him or made him somehow. I can't quite remember. And in the Netflix series, that Siege one I'm thinking of, Jetfire is very much a Decepticon. He's like aerial commander, isn't he? So he is full on Decepticon in that. So it's interesting that in each version, even in that Revenge for the Fallen movie, he's sort of, I think, a Decepticon in that. He's got a logo on him anyway. So here, Optimus looks like he's going to use the Matrix of Leadership to try and heal Jetfire, but Ratchet, he's the one to sort of say, look, it's not going to do any good. He's on his way out, unfortunately. Can't stop the inevitable is the phrase he uses, and he dies in Optimus's arms. You've got this really telling moment here on the arc. So you've got Skywarp, Starscream, and Soundwave, and they're deciding what to do. Laserbeak has scouted out a possible location of Energon. They need Energon to get Teletron 1 back up to speed, need more raw materials, and they can revive the rest of them. But for now, it's just the three of them, and they want Starscream to go out there and do the business. But he seems a bit hesitant there. And Soundwave is about to invoke the name of Megatron. So if you're sort of just reading this for the first time, you're probably wondering where Megatron is. And Starscream says, do not say his name. He's taken this opportunity to become the leader of the Decepticons, what he's always wanted. In issue 1, he's got it straight away. So that is something very different that they do here. Megatron is not a character you see straight away. But we cut away to the humans here. We've got you got Sparky and his mate Davey, and it's a nice touching moment. To say it's a Transformers comic book, how they handle the human sort of element to it is really good. So he says, I'm here if you need to talk, and he doesn't react very well to it. And he's, what the hell do you know about it? And he got this nice angry over the shoulder look here. Now, it looks like they work at some sort of power plant or something. You see a lot of like Transformers. It's not a bun really, but they actually do look like Transformers or something there. You got these pylons and things, and Starscream's ripping into pieces. He's angry that he's been sent out there. He wants to do the ordering. He don't want to be taking orders or anything like that. But he's angry, and he's just noticed these humans. Is this the first time we've seen them? I'm guessing so. And this is the final page of the issue. So Starscream, look at this look on his face. He's excited to cause pain, isn't he? So he grabs Davey, and Spark is watching on, and he grabs him, and he just says, so squishy, and he just sort of pops him, and you've got this onomatopoeia again of this squish written in blood, and he just covers Starscream, and he's got this maniacal sort of laughter, this grin on his face, and he calls him pathetic, to be continued. And that is really stamping the mark on this issue, on this series, in fact, where these are not happy-go-lucky cookie cutter Transformers who have adventures. This is gritty. This is almost like Transformers meets Game of Thrones or something. It's horrible. People are going to die in disgusting, horrible ways, and so are Transformers. And it's a great way to end the issue. And what I've started doing with some of my X-Men issues is start talking about a panel of the issue. And I knew which one it was going to be before I even came into it. It's this one. It's the very last one. It tells you everything you need to know about this series of Transformers. It is gruesome. And I won't lie, I love it. Starscream is one of my favorite Transformers as well. And what a great way to end the issue. So this is really setting the stakes for the rest of the issues. So let's skip ahead and take a quick look at what issue 2 is going to look like. And here's that sneak peek at issue 2, and you've got more Starscream dishing out cruelty. So you've got like this fighter pilot in here. We're seeing it from inside the cockpit. And I think he's about to go squishy too, isn't he? It's very reminiscent of that first Transformers movie from 2007, where he's fighting with the fighter jet. So that's sort of, I think, playing into that a little bit, and you know sort of what to expect. But yeah, this is telling us we're going to get more of that Starscream sort of havoc. So if you've enjoyed the video and you want to continue along on this journey, I think I'm definitely going to do some more Transformer videos as well. Please like and subscribe, and thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.